Our story begins where all life begins, in darkness. Oh. He had lived alone in his cave for longer than he could remember. The days and nights blended themselves into one seamless tapestry. Once he had delighted in the hunt for mammoths, the thrill of wrestling a saber-toothed tiger by its tusks. Now he felt nothing but emptiness. He hadn't always been alone in his cave. Every evening the nightmares came to remind him of the fact. He remembered hiding as a young child while he watched the dingos devour his family. And he remembered watching as they vomited up the remains of his family members to feed to their young. Most nights he rarely slept. Other nights he woke up screaming. To calm his mind, he would often take long walks in the cave. It was on one of those nights that he met the woman. There she was, perched above the underground stream, her delicate hands squeezing the life from a trout. Her beauty shimmered like the waterfalls in the summer. As she offered him the fish, their hands met for a second. He bent down and ate hungrily, certain that from this time on his life would never be the same. She moved into his cavern soon after, and they were very happy together. But soon the man became sullen, withdrawn. He left the woman to hunt while he crouched by the fire, straining his eyes to read. The man was filled with a lust for something he had no words to describe. And as the woman failed to understand, he grew angrier. Grabbing a charred piece of wood from the fire, he began to draw a symbol to communicate his ideas. It seemed to come from some unseen well deep inside of him. But the woman could not comprehend the man, and he became enraged at her. He thought of the dingos, and he lost control. The realization of what he had done welled up inside of him, and he staggered through the maze of caverns, wailing with grief. Gasping for breath, he finally collapsed to the ground, only to realize that he was lost. And then he saw it. It called to him, pulled him in. It whispered to him until he couldn't help but come closer and closer. The man lost consciousness. He woke near the edge of the cave and began groping blindly towards the light. When he emerged, everything was the same, and everything was different. The thick flocks of buffalo were gone. He roamed the countryside, drawn by an unseen force to an unknown destination. He wondered how he would fit in this strange new world. Who was he? A caveman? No name of his own, just a modifying noun. He became aware that he would need to find new ways of feeding himself, and new ways of stalking his prey. The beast that once filled him with fear at night now looked weak and lifeless, and he knew that he belonged somewhere else. So he set off, sometimes walking, sometimes being taken along by strangers. He crossed landscapes he would never have dreamed of. A sense of purpose he couldn't quite explain propelled him along. He descended from the mountains, and he gazed in wonder. The vast city yawned before him like an oyster ready to be shucked. So alien, and yet so many things that reminded him of his home. He knew he was close. His destiny was unrolling in front of him in waves. Finally, he had arrived. It shimmered before him like the belly of a hippopotamus. And at last, he had a place where he truly belonged. But as he approached the great creature, he thought of the woman again, and what he had given up. A grief welled up in him, and the spirit seemed to leave his body